Hello and welcome back to Horder, or welcome if it's your first time catching one of these videos. It's a little project I put together while the world is basically closed, thanks COVID. Just trying to keep myself busy in my downtime. Anyway, in this series, what we're going to be doing is building Horde bases in 7 Days to Die. The main objective here is just to see how good of a base we can build. You can check out another video to be linked below where we do a speed build of this base, which I've named Rifter. A little throwback to EVE Online. Kind of looks like a Rifter frigate. I digress. Anyways, today in this video, what we're going to be doing is setting ourselves. You can see at the top of the screen we are at day 70, and it's almost Horde night. So, I have given myself lots of ammo. I've given myself 2 different sniper rifles. We have a full set of tier 6 steel armor. And we've perked ourselves into the Penetrator and Deadeye. So, sniper rifles are the name of the game. We're hoping to be taking down 3, 4, 5 zombies at a time with our AP rifle whenever we need it. The build for this base was pretty intensive on resources. We ended up at a minus 20 point count because of all of the concrete mostly that it took. So decided that might need some retuning for future bases. Not entirely sure, but the idea is that it'll do well enough on Horde Night that it'll end up back in the positive values, you know, as we see a wandering horde here messing around and hitting stuff, which is unacceptable. We'll just take care of this guy real quick. Probably have to take care of the rest of them too. Great. So, the idea for this series is, as I said, we will be building the Horde base. Each base starts at 100 points. We lose points for how much concrete we use, for how much raw iron we use, and we're going to end up losing points for how many stacks of ammunition we use as well. The bases can all, as I miss every single shot, that doesn't bode well for tonight. That doesn't bode well. Anyways, as we progress through the day 70 Horde, we'll actually be able to earn points back for the base. We can get 20 points for succeeding if I don't die and the base doesn't just implode, basically. That's a victory. That's worth 20 points. That would get this base back to 0. So, you know, aim high, I guess. We can also earn points for not having to repair any blocks, for not having to replace any blocks once the Horde Night is over, and, you know, some other stuff like that. So here's hoping this base does well. The premise here is that the zombies pathing will take them, no matter where they spawn, all the way around through the kill zone here. We have electric wires running across, we have dart traps, we have blade traps. Those are probably gonna die, let's be honest, but, you know, they might help us for a little while at the outset of Horde Night. And through the phase, we'll be keeping track of how much ammo we use so that we can deduct more points later on. Because I'm definitely going to be going through quite a bit of ammo here. We are running on insane difficulty. That is the hardest difficulty setting. We are also running 64 Blood Moon zombies. That is the highest that you can go. All unmodded, of course. I'm guessing there's stuff that'll get you more zombies if you so desire. I don't currently. That's a bit much. But we're gonna just, you know, throw a really hard horde at this. I gave myself a bunch of levels to help with building, to make sure that I had enough perks to get maxed out with sniper rifles. So we're rocking a game stage of 166. That's pretty high. You'd probably be higher if you just played normally to get to day 70, but I'm not sure it'll make that big of a difference. We are definitely going to see all of the hardest zombies. We're going to get a lot of irradiated. We're going to get a lot of demolishers for sure. And if you don't know what those zombies are, if you're new to 7 Days to Die, you'll know them when you see them. They're massive dudes that are heavily armored, and they have a big glowing button on their chest. and if you hit it, they explode, which will likely ruin this entire base, honestly. I don't know if it's going to survive a demo blowing up in this hallway here. Certainly not 2 demos blowing up in this hallway. But, you know, as I explained in the build video, that's kind of how I like it. I kind of want myself to be front and center in these bases. I kind of want the survival of everything to depend on me. That's, you know, that's what's fun to me. I don't want to just sit back and have the base do everything for me. Sounds kind of boring. So, just put it all on my shoulders, you know. It's got to be headshots on the demos. We're going to have an AP rifle specifically for them and for the penetrator perk. And hopefully we can do it. And, you know, if not, I don't know that that's a great proof of concept for this series, but you know what? It's kept me busy for a little while at least. So it's already a win for me. Hopefully it's, you know, at least mildly entertaining for a few other people out there that are struggling to find entertainment in the COVID world. And let's just get everything turned on, get this thing rolling. We did actually load all of our dart traps this time around, so that's good. We get our electric fencing turned on. Close up some of our hatches here. Get the blade traps going. Ooh, something I do need to do, just so that we can keep track of how much ammo we're using. I'm gonna get another box of 7.62. Whoops, 7.3. Just one box of that, please. Thank you very much. Okay, so we have a full 9 boxes, 9 stacks of boxes of regular 7.62, 9 stacks of boxes of AP 7.62. So that's math amount of each of them. I'll keep track of it later for you. Don't worry about it. We also have some forged steel, some concrete, some repair kits, forged iron, and electrical parts. This will be if we need to repair concrete blocks, our weapons, the hatches, and our electric fence posts. I'm guessing we're going to need to consume some of these tonight. If you don't know, the electric fence posts do in fact take damage as they are used. So as zombies walk through this, the post on the end of the circuit will be taking damage, and eventually it'll break, meaning that this first row of traps will not have an electric fence running through them anymore until I run up the hallway and fix that broken fence post. One of the things I do remember explicitly about designing this base, back when I was just playing the game normally, I actually ran my circuits such that all of the fence post circuits ended in the same hallway, so that I only had to run up one to repair all of them at once. Definitely a better idea to do it that way than the way that I have it right now. Certainly, when these doors are open, what we experienced was the zombies pathing tried to take them through these singular blocks of concrete, and they only pathed through the base the way that we wanted them to when all the doors were shut, because that was so much extra health that they would have had to get through. So definitely dangerous to run up these hallways just to repair some fence posts. And a lot better if you only have to run up one hallway to take care of it. So, would recommend doing that if you're going to build this base in your own game. Otherwise, you know, this is what it is. Not really sure if it's going to work well for me. When I played it in game, I had 2 friends with me, which is why, another reason why we had the kill area be 3 blocks wide, so that we could all stand next to each other and have good shots on the zombies coming through. So it's a big base, and I don't often play on insane difficulty with 64 zombies, so it'll be interesting to see. So what we're gonna do is crack 2 stacks of each of these to start. We're gonna load our number 2 gun with plain 7.62. We'll load our number 3 gun with the AP. And we're just gonna get this party started. Alright, the gong has been run. Run? That's stupid. Who runs a gong? The gong runner. It's been rung, even. So this is probably the most difficult horde I have ever had to face in this game. I'm a pretty casual 7 days player, so this will be interesting. Also, 90% of this video is going to be looking through a scope, so hope that's fine for everybody. Nicely stacking up here after rounding that corner. Makes my life a lot easier. It's interesting, I think Voodoo calls them Arlenes. They can just walk under most of the fence posts. That's interesting. I have been toying around with the idea of a base that has paths that some of the taller zombies can't get through. Most of the time, the taller ones are a little bit more dangerous. I do believe the demos, the cops, the bikers, maybe the army men are all 2.5 blocks tall. I think our blade trap up there is dead already. Let's do some AP here. Hopefully we'll get some multi-kills going. Clear up some of these guys in a hurry. Reload that one just so it's ready for the next. Actually, we're gonna keep going with it, I think. Oh, this is gonna be expensive horde night. Alright, reload that one. We'll go back to regular 7.62 for a little while here. And lose my headshot buff in the process. That's okay. We get it back easy enough. Now, important note here, I'm not actually going to be using any kind of consumables. There are, of course, consumables in the game that make your range damage significantly higher for brief periods of time. Some that would, you know, protect us from certain, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Protect us from certain kind of critical injuries, infections, stuff like that, but well, we're just gonna play this like we're not gonna get hit at all, right? That's the whole point. So, oh, that was bad. There goes that blade trap. He didn't look like he was animating like he was gonna blow up. That's not very nice, man. That's just psyched me out there. Oh, popping heads, taking names, cashing checks. That blade trap is not long for this world. Look, it's on fire already. So yeah, the blade trap's kind of useless, honestly. I remember them being a lot better. Although I don't think they survived the horde night that I used them in. You just need to not, lady, run through all of my traps like that. Let's make sure we take care of the cop this time. Although having him blow up was kind of beneficial, I guess. He took out a lot of zombies when he did that. A lot of cops. Alright, he spit at us, but we didn't get hit by it, so that's good. That extra 10 points is still intact for this base. That's a nail gun. What? I'm not gonna use that tonight. Well, not to shoot zombies anyway. Interesting. Is this a lull? I didn't expect a lull on the day 70 horde night with 64 zombies, I'll be honest. But okay. Yeah, spider monkeys are here now. dogs too. I'm kind of wishing I gave myself some Molotovs at this point. A lot of spider monkeys coming in now. Oh, we got our first demo also. Get the AP gun out. Couple of demos. Oh my gosh, this is insane. This is really bad now. Gotta kill that demo. Alright. Nope, he's not dead yet. Come on. There we go. Keep firing. Keep firing. This is where an M60 would probably come in handy. This is really bad now. Oh boy. I do not know how this hatch is holding up. I'm still using AP rounds here, trying to get as much penetration as possible. They are really stacked up on this hatch though. I am concerned about its health. I think I took a couple of them there with that shot, not sure. Really need you guys to go away though. We got another demo coming in. Oh, this is bad. Just free firing now. I do need to check the health on this hatch. Oh, it's bad. And dog's in. We have to repair the hatch. There goes the repair bonus. Okay, we hit the focus on the demo now. Come on. I definitely got him there with a headshot. This is crazy. This is absolutely insane. Oh, there I took some damage to swipe from a zombie through the hatch. This is not going well. They're stacked up like crazy on this hatch. Have to take care of this other demo though. There he goes. There's another one in there. Oh, this is insane. Headshots, headshots, come on. Is that him dead? That was bad. I'm not sure what blew up there. I think it was only a cop though. The cops are definitely being killed by the traps and then blowing up because of it. I just upgraded a block to steel there, and I really didn't mean to. I need to check some of these other blocks in front of me for health. A lot of concrete there. Come on. This is a crazy horde, man. Okay. I feel like I have a little bit more control now. That's probably dangerous, but... Only gone through about 300 rounds of AP-762 so far. If this was an M60, we definitely would have been quite a few more stacks into this. I wonder if that's all the demos I'm gonna get for tonight. I don't know. Rifle's broken. I'm gonna repair both of them. Interesting. I think the rifle's actually switched spots on me there. It's back to being really crazy again. I'm gonna need to check the health on this hatch pretty soon, I think. Penetrator perk is definitely doing a lot of work for me here. So glad these electric fence posts are still holding up. If they were not, I would likely be dead by now. Blade traps have been dead for a long time. They really feel like a waste of resources. Gotta reload this. Okay. Nice. Okay. Another reprieve here. Reload. Fix up my vault door. It's interesting they're hitting some of these top blocks. I'm not sure what's prompting that. I thought I reloaded that, no? I'm gonna take this chance to make sure that all my fence posts are repaired in here. They're actually holding up quite well, to be honest with you. When we ran this, I remember a lot more fence posts breaking. Pretty frequently. Is that the end of the Horde night? I thought for sure I was going to be running until 4 or 5 a.m. with this one. We definitely fully lost 2 of the blade traps. I don't know if they were that useful. I think I would recommend replacing this last one. Just omit all of them and replace this last one with something that'll help you take care of the dogs and the spider monkeys that show up here. Maybe something firing downward from up above. I'm not really sure what the best method would be there. We might actually just be done here. Does anybody know if it matters how many Horde nights your game actually has had in it? Of course, I've only had 2 technically at this point. I did a dry run on the day 7 during the build phase, and then this one. I've not ever done that before, but I was expecting this horde to last a lot longer than it seems to have. But, you know, if this is it, if this is going to be the end of it, then, I mean, I'm fine with that. We didn't even use... Look at that. I mean, we cracked 2 full stacks of boxes. That's 500 rounds of each. We still have almost all... Okay, math. That's 1,000 rounds. If it's 500 rounds per stack of boxes, right? So 1,000 rounds. And we still have just a crazy amount. Like, that didn't use any ammo, really, which is amazing. I guess in the grand scheme of things, right? Like, obviously it used a lot of ammo, and with any other weapon it would have used a lot more. But to still have, what's that, 557 AP rounds, and that's basically what we used all night. I'd say that was a pretty big success. To be fair, it is, I mean, at 5 points a stack, I think this base is still going to be in the negative because I did take damage. I did have to repair blocks. I'm not going to count traps as breaking blocks. I don't think that's really fair. So as far as breaking blocks are concerned, I'm just going to be counting, you know, the concrete blocks. I did accidentally upgrade that to steel. That was silly. But, you know, heat of the moment. There's a lot of zombies stacked up right there, and I panicked a little bit. So we'll just make sure all this is turned off. I think, honestly, that we're done for the night. Definitely no blocks actually broken. It looks like they took some swipes at this as they ran by. That's to be expected. But they didn't break any of it. This is a little bit concerning to me, that they were attacking here. It seems like a fair amount before they pathed around the base. Same with this corner here. That's interesting. Because this corner they would have rounded, right? So they could have taken a swipe as they went by this. But it doesn't make much sense for them to just take a swipe by this as they run by it. At least not in my mind. So, as far as improvements to this base... the first, I would recommend just not using any blade traps. They were basically useless. And maybe some downward firing dart traps in place of either that, concrete, or just below, to help deal with the dogs and the spiders that were stacking up here. I couldn't see them very well. Of course, Molotovs and stuff, pipe bombs would probably help with that too. And then... another improvement I would make is actually move this diagonal ahead a block or two. It'll give you either a smaller space to stand in, which is probably fine, or slightly less protection at the back. I'm not sure how that would go, but at the moment I think this point is the weakest spot of the base, and it would be the only thing they might try to path through, because I think that's technically only, what, 2 blocks that they would have to break before they got to you? 3 blocks. So, I mean, it's still pretty good, honestly. But if you move that ahead, it'd be a little bit more, be less of a weak point. But there you have it. Honestly, I survived with ease. We had a bunch of demos show up, lots of cops, lots of irradiated. It got a little hairy there for a while. We did have to repair our hatch quite a few times. But totally doable on one of the hardest hordes. Probably the hardest horde I've ever faced. Probably one of the hardest hordes in the standard version of this game. And the Rifter base did it just fine, honestly. So we'll go ahead and count up all of the resources that this base consumed and give you a point total at the end. If you liked the base, if you want to give it a try on your own, again, the build video will be linked in the description. I'm a very amateur video editor, so it's not super pretty, I'll be honest with you. It is just a speed build of the whole thing. I talk about a few key elements, what kind of traps we're going to use, how we're going to mount them to be as efficient as possible. Some of the important points of this base being mostly how to path the zombies to get them in front of you and not beating on the walls behind you, trying to just, you know, come and munch on you from a way that you weren't expecting. That's unacceptable. So it did that. The base did really well, honestly. So if this was something you wanted to try to run, I think that you could, start building it out of cobble and stuff and then just upgrade it as you go. I think it would be very doable as you progress through the game. And knowing that it'll work all the way through day 70, even on the hardest difficulty with the most zombies, give you some peace of mind that all the resources you're sinking into it are in fact going to be worth it in the end. Okay, the end, the scoring, the judgment of the Rifter base. Is it valid? I don't know. I'm making up points. This is like Whose Line. Everything's made up and the points don't matter. As long as all the bases are on the same scale, that is. Um, will I make some changes to this? Probably. But for the moment, we're just going to put the Rifter on the board. It started with 100 points. We used 22 stacks of concrete. That's a lot. It lost 110 points for that. It also used 4 stacks of iron. We used 2 more stacks during the Horde night in iron darts and forged steel to repair our hatch to stay alive. That's another 20 points lost. We used 5 total stacks of 762, split between armor piercing and normal. I'm not going to count the difference in materials required. I know there's a lot of lead difference between the two, but I don't know that it's going to make that big of an impact, honestly. So we used 5 stacks of ammo total. It's another 25 points lost. Put the base total at minus 55. That seems like a pretty big hole that it wasn't going to be able to climb out of, unfortunately, and it didn't. We successfully beat the Horde, though, so that's great news. That's plus 20 points. We also didn't need to use any healing. We didn't need to replace any broken blocks the next day. Like I said in the video, I'm not going to count the broken traps, especially traps that I don't think are really required for this Horde base to be successful anyway. So I just went ahead and said, you know what? It didn't break any blocks. So another 10 points for that. Puts the base total at a minus 15, though. It doesn't feel great to me. I would at least like bases to end up in the positive. But again, as long as everything's on the same scale, I'm not sure that it really matters all that much. So, we're going to keep this point system for a little while. I'm going to do at least one more base on it, see where that one falls. And the whole point is that then you can see how each base fares compared to the other bases, right? I mean, it doesn't matter if you end up at 1,000 points. It doesn't mean anything without any kind of reference, right? So we'll move ahead with this. If you have any suggestions for things that I'm missing, things that you'd like to see included in the point total, let me know in the comments. I'm happy to read all of them at this point, and keep this series moving forward in a way that makes sense and that people want to see the information presented. So with that said, hope everybody enjoyed the videos, or video if you only wanted to watch the one. I will certainly be making more, probably on a weekly basis, maybe more in between. I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm just doing this in my free time. But stick around. Try to catch the next one if you like this. And stay safe, stay healthy. Have a great day. Hopefully we'll catch you in the next one.